Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. Back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to solve lab number 2 from OS Command Injection vulnerability. And again, this is a server-side vulnerability and it is a kind of injection. So without wasting time, this little disclaimer as always for you. This video and its contents are only for educational and awareness purpose, and I do not support any unethical or illegal act. That's been said, if you did not subscribe the channel, please subscribe the channel, do support for this channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notifications on time. That's been said, in the first lab we saw very basic command injection vulnerability and we exploited that successfully. But in today's lab we are going to see blind OS command injection vulnerability. So again, this is blind because you cannot see the response, expected response on your browser, or the web application is not going to render the injection response on the browser. So you won't be able to know, or you won't be able to see the result in the responses. But there are many ways or many tricks like out of band interaction and other ways to understand that okay, your payload is working, or the injection is working, or this application is vulnerable for injection, for a particular kind of injection. And here we are talking about OS command injection, right? So as you can see here, many instances of OS command injections are blind vulnerabilities. This means that the application does not return the output from the command within the HTTP response. So as I mentioned, you won't be able to see the response of the command output. So blind vulnerabilities can still be exploited, but different techniques are required. So here, as you can see, the example is, consider a website that lets users submit the feedback about the site. The user enters their email address and feedback message. The server-side application then generates an email to site administrator containing the feedback. And to do this, it calls out the mail program. So it is not always going to happen that the mail command is going to execute whenever you are going to submit the feedback or your inquiry. So what happened whenever you face some problem and you are going to get the support from the support team from a particular organization through online support. So whatever the question or whatever the problem you input with your email, that problem or that feedback is going to the support team or the technical team, and they respond you. So how that feedback is going to the support team, because whatever problem you input, that generates an email and send it to the support team. The approach could be many approach could be there, like they generate a particular ticket number for you, and maybe it is not an email, maybe it is not going to generate an email and send to the support team, but the application itself save all these data into the database, and then from the database, whenever the tech support actually log in into the tech support portal, the tech support is going to get alert or a message that okay, there is one ticket open, and this is the customer, this is customer information, and this is the problem customer is facing. So there could be a lot of approaches, but here in this particular lab, the web application is going to execute this mail command, and through this mail command it is going to send an email to the administrator, right? So how you can detect that vulnerability, because it is blind? So what you will do, you will use some kind of payload that generates a delay in the response. Suppose once you submit the request, it takes a few seconds, okay, or milliseconds to submit that, to submit your feedback. But if you pass this kind of payload that's saying ping 10 times to localhost. Localhost means server start pinging itself for 10 times, and that will take a bit time. So once you see the difference between the actual response and this delayed response, you will know, okay, this command is executing in the backend, that's why the response is taking that much delay, and there is a delayed response. That means the application is vulnerable to the blind OS command injection. I hope you understand. Even if you have any query, please put your query in the comment section. Again, the thing comes on the same place, on the same point. What the point is, even if this email, even if this functionality, submit feedback functionality, is going to execute a command, okay, in the backend, but if the application sanitize or filter or validate these inputs, maybe the web application can avoid, or the developer can avoid this OS command injection. We are going to submit a fake feedback. So I already opened up the burp suite here. So start the burp proxy on your browser, and I'm going to write, let's say, test email. Let's say I'm going to say a. This is my email with some special characters like this, okay, and also I'm going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. This is my subject, and this is fake feedback. So before actually executing or trying to exploit directly the application, I'm going to test whether these fields are validating the input or not. So if the email field validates whether the user is inputting email or not, so it is going to validate like the data type must be email here. So the email must contain @ and dot. Rest of the things should not be allowed here. Rest of the special characters or all. And even if I just input any string without @ and dot, it should say, okay, this is not the email, so please type the correct email. Clear history here. Okay, submit feedback, and as you can see, it's saying please enter an email. So that is good. It's saying, that means it's validating. But if I go to inspect elements, come here, and here you can see this field is required, means this is the mandatory field. But here if I say, instead of type email, if I say text, okay, and now if I submit the form, and it is going to submit that, and as you can see here, we got a post request, and in the post request we have these parameters. The first thing is CSRF token we have here. The second parameter is name, email, subject, message, and all, right? And could not save this 500 internal error. Okay, that's good. Let's try something else. Refresh the page again. Okay, and this time I'm just going to send a. Okay, submit feedback again. It's saying please enter an email address. Let's try something else. I'm going to send this request to the repeater, going to the repeater, and now as we know that, okay, this application is using mail command, and after mail command it's going to say subject and from, to, and feedback. This is the email. So I'm gonna say, after email we need to test each and every parameter. I'm going to try, just send this request, and it's saying 200. Okay, means the feedback is submitted. So what we need to do here to just add the delay. So for that I'm going to inject command here, and I'm going to take the same payload. So take this, but instead of $, I'm going to use, let's say, this and this, and just paste that here. And this payload, because it's containing space, so I'm going to make it URL encode and just send this. So it should ping itself, the server will ping itself and then will give us the response. So it's saying 500 internal server error. Why so? Go to home, and yeah, we solve the lab, because as you can see we add delay here. Now if I put here, let's say 20 times, it should ping itself. So although we can do many more things to test that. Suppose you have a public IP, okay, and as you can see, to ping 20 times it is going to take 19 seconds and 781 milliseconds, 19.78 seconds. Okay, how else you can test it? You can also use the burp collaborator, and from here you can use payload something like this. So before we use ping space -c 10 times itself, right? We can also try something like curl and http:// burp collaborator dot burpsuite.com, whatever is that. You can generate a burp collaborator client domain and you can curl that. Fine. And once in the burp collaborator client, if you get the hit DNS request and HTTP request, that means the target is trying to access your control domain, and you will get the DNS and HTTP. Okay, but the probability is this command will only be get success if the target system have curl installed. If the target system does not have curl, then maybe this is not going to work. Or you can also do few more things like wget, and you can, with the wget you can also access anything. So this actually anything, even if that that path or that endpoint does not exist, it is going to hit your controlled burp collaborator client and you will get the response on the burp collaborator client. Okay, and again this one will only work if the wget binary exists on the target system. Third thing, you can also ping your burp collaborator client, ping space -c, let's say 10 times, and collaborator client, right? So once you are going to actually ping your burp collaborator client, so you are going to put this one, and on the burp collaborator client you will get one hit, which is going to be the DNS request, because before going to ping it is going to make the ns lookup command on this, or you can even try ns lookup. Even if you try ns lookup, it is going to generate a DNS request and your burp collaborator client will get a DNS request. So all these plenty of ways you can perform the same task, or you can detect the blind vulnerabilities. So this approach is going to be your out of band interaction, although this way you can generate the delay in the response and you can also do these things. So that's it for this video, and you can see we already solved the lab because we have to generate the delay in the response, which we already did. So hope you understand, and if you have any query, please put your query in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.